and if they want right there, you're like you are saying you're a business, so you got to follow the rules of business. So I think the Clintons did immense damage to the Democratic Party and the perception we have that the left is the blue collar party and the right is like the corporation party. And I'm not saying that the right isn't the corporation party or that they're not the bad guys either. Like my whole thing with this Trump thing is like, he's picking up all these Zionists and everyone's like seems to have a major problem with it. And I understand that too. I'm not shocked because he did this the first time he was in. He 100% did this the first time he was in. This is exactly how he operates. And you know what? We destroyed the Democratic Party for not giving us what we want. Let's get the broom out and sweep out the neocons too. We got rid of neoliberals. Let's get rid of neocons. Bang, bang, get them out. There you go. Bye bye. So I'm not shocked at all.
Neocons can go to either party too. That's the scary part. There's
Yeah.
always that's that Rhino Dino thing where it's the Jersey political machine. They say is so bad that in Essex County you can't run as a Republican. You have to be a fake. You have to run as a Democrat and just do all Republican shit because no one will follow up on you if you're in a local office.
It's so crazy, dude. And that is the big thing. Localist. I've been trying to push that. You got to be a localist now. You got to go to your board of education meetings, which I need to start doing, and you got to go to your your county meetings. What are those called?
I wrote you in for Board of Ed for Monmouth County, New Jersey, by the way.
What's that?
I wrote you in as the write-in candidate for Monmouth
Thank
County
you,
Board of
dude.
Education.
Thank
Yes,
you.
sir.
I wrote myself in a couple times too for the judges. I'm like, why am I just voting for people I don't know? I'm just gonna vote for myself and see how it works out. So I did get a vote on that. So KP, where do you want to? I mean, what do you want to start with, dude? Because you brought in, when we were talking before the show, you brought in something about whenever a president is newly elected. Let's get into that. What are your thoughts?
Well, the thing you and I were talking about was the generals. It's always there's always going to be a thing, a president and their generals. It's always going to be the Joint Chiefs, that kind of a thing. But the weird thing that I thought this was one of the trippiest ones I ever went down. This was an early episode of American Loser, and we covered a guy named James Wilkinson. And I don't know if Johnny wanted to bring him up at all, but James Wilkinson is the most batshit story in American history I've ever heard because we literally caught him. He was part of two conspiracies to overthrow the government. He was also caught as a spy not once but twice. And we were such a new country and we didn't have enough generals that we kept putting him in charge and promoting him to bigger and bigger offices.
Unbelievable. Just unbelievable.
Oh, true.
We think like that politics has gotten more corrupt than ever. It's always been corrupt. Always been corrupt. And like we just see all these Democrats, and we're gonna see it with the Republicans with Israel, but all these it's so funny, dude. The Israelis don't have to send spies; they just do dual citizenship. It's hilarious to me. But you get all of these Democrats; they have Chinese spies. And
So
I've
the
said this
guy he just
before.
pulled up, I'm sorry, I just saw that Johnny pulled it up. He's got the picture of Wilkinson right there. That's our boy. That's our boy Johnny Wilkinson, or James Wilkinson rather. These are coasters that we have that are available on the website, and this one says, "Felt cute, might spy for Spain later."
Yeah.
Dude, this guy was so awful. It was unbelievable. He sold secrets. I think his name was Agent. I forget what his name was, Agent 33 or something like that. But he literally would betray early American military interests. This is how bad it was. This is insane. He literally gave away the names and location of the Lewis and Clark expedition and sold it to the Spanish and told them
No.
where would be a good place to ambush them and kill them so that they couldn't do a survey of the country. Like he was trying to stop the Louisiana Purchase. That's what they were all about. And if they had given them correct information, they would have been able to find them. But Lewis and Clark took a different path than they were supposed to. That's the only reason they avoided being killed by Spanish troops because James Wilkinson leaked all the info out. And he also was part of there was Conway's Cabal, which was an attempt to replace George Washington so that they could have a general that would give them greater titles if they had won the Revolutionary War. And then after the Revolutionary War, he's part of Aaron Burr's conspiracy, which everybody, that's the one thing that kills me now. Everybody pretends like they knows history. They know history because they saw friggin' Hamilton, you know? But that was a true story, 100% true, is that this thing called the Burr conspiracy. Aaron Burr tried to overthrow the country, and Wilkinson was all on board with it. But imagine if QAnon was real, Sam, like 100% real.
Okay.
And then at the last minute, the people who were like JFK Jr. does come back, and at the last minute he goes, "Nah, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to rat you guys out. I'm going to turn everybody from QAnon in." And you're like, "But you were the linchpin. You were the most important part of this." That's what Wilkinson
Oh my
did.
God.
Oh,
He
threw a
turned on
dagger,
everybody.
put a dagger right in Aaron Burr's back, got him labeled as a traitor, and then he went to court martial. The joke about him that was my favorite, we put it in the book too, is that James Wilkinson is a general who never won a battle but never lost a court martial, because every time they just didn't have enough evidence to put him away, or Spain would come to his rescue on something. So finally, he winds up in Mexico, and he tries to set himself up as the. I think this is where he dies. He dies in Mexico, and he was trying to set himself up to be an advisor to the new emperor over there, and he was going to try to start his own country again for the third time. So that's two conspiracies, two countries that he spied for, and 5 presidents that he betrayed, and he's still considered one of our founding fathers.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
So
so you
they
can't.
like it's like when we do this revisionist history, they love to do revisionist history. They love to take the biggest scumbags and try to make them seem like just the loving of lovers. And they're just so obviously just scumbags. And it's just like and it's just like it's just trying to clean up their mess. I mean, like, wow, look at like I love Texas. The state of Texas is so amazing. The people are so amazing, and you just watch them give George Bush Jr. like standing O's at sporting events. I go, what are you doing? Why are you clapping for this fucking war criminal clown, dude? It's unbelievable to me. But this is how we do it. We do revisionist history. Ellen DeGeneres hanging out with George Bush in a box. It's crazy. It's just crazy to me. And it
Bush
blows
is interesting. He was a war criminal and then became a painter. And I know a guy who was a painter that then became a war criminal. I don't know if you guys have heard of him.
Who's that?
Bush just did the opposite of Hitler.
Hitler,
he did a reverse Hitler.
He used to be a painter. He was a painter.
He reversed Hitler. That's so great, dude.
What are you going to do now, George, now that you've just pretty much ruined an entire generation of Iraqi children? I think I'm getting into painting. It's going to be painting.
Who do you think was better painter, Hitler or Bush?
Ooh.
Oh, I've never seen any of Hitler's art. Does anyone ever know what Hitler's art? Is there, Johnny? Can we find
I
Hitler's
think he
art?
painting like landscapes and like dogs, maybe.
It was landscape.
The worst kind of paintings.
But I think Hitler's a better painter technically. Like if you see some of his paintings, they're technically just better.
Which is kind of crazy that you brought that up, dude. Because we've been doing some power ranking on genocides, and there's a good chance that tied for 6 is the Jewish Holocaust in Germany and the Iraqi Holocaust, depending on the numbers you do. Some people are now putting the number at 4 mil for both of those.
That's pretty good right there for him.
No, I mean it's better if you look at like here. George Bush is. I mean they're okay, but they're much simpler. Let's see.
Yeah.
This feels like when we're listening to Charles Manson's music that Guns N' Roses covered.
Yeah, this is
What?
You see? Yeah, they're just.
Yeah.
He painted Putin?
It would appear so. Yeah, there he is.
Hold on, go down. Who is that guy? Who's the black guy? Is that the Sandman or is that Chris Rock? Who's he
Fucking George Floyd.
Who is that?
Okay,
Oh, the George Floyd one got me.
Now the question is Hunter Biden better than any of them?
Oh, that's a great
Ooh.
question. Let's see some. So we have Hitler's art. We have Hunter Biden's art. Who's the best of the worst? Who's the best?
Well,
of
Hunter
the
Biden's doing modern art, so who the fuck?
Trash.
No, trash. Trash.
Oh
Just
yeah.
trash.
Look at him
Crack.
posing. Look at him posing with it. Look at that crazy ass son of
He's
a
like,
bitch.
dude, are we done? Can I smoke crack now?
It's really hard to differentiate between him and Hunter S. Thompson at this point for me.
Really?
It's they're just so. If you just pictured, Hunter Biden, first of all, the bathtub photo of him with the cigarette taking the selfie, that was like
Oh,
that was
yeah.
the background on my phone for about a year.
That guy loved to film himself committing crimes. Like nobody snitched on themselves more than Hunter Biden.
Oh, like when that crackhead was weighing out the rock, and she's like, "It's 4.5." He's like, "No, it's 4." There was like, well, they were off by like 1, and they were arguing about this one.
That's a lot. Point ounce is a lot of crack, dog. That's a big difference.
You're a fucking millionaire. Your dad's the president. You're fine. You don't need that. You can go buy
Yeah.
some.
You think Hunter Biden's a millionaire? You think he's a
What's
millionaire?
that?
You think Hunter Biden's a millionaire?
Yeah.
He strikes
You
me as
said-
the kind of guy who blew all his wealth. And
Yeah, I mean, that could definitely happen, but has he made millions? Yes. What he did with it, who knows? I mean, mostly probably smoked it all away. I mean, I say this on stage, like every time you see his hog, it's huge. And you're like, but he's smoking crack. Like, how good is your coke that you never get coke dick? That's the most amazing thing to me. Like, he was just getting right off the plant cocaine. He was getting shipped right to his house.
That Burisma quality.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
that
shit they
burrito-
found at the White House. How good was the shit they found at the White House?
Well, they say that's they said that was Kamala's.
Really?
Come on. Kumamas. They said it was Kumamas.
If she really was drunk on Xanax the entire campaign, like it makes a lot more sense, and you can actually find her a sympathetic character. You know what I
Listen,
mean?
Any other place doing any other thing, I think we all like Kamala. I like if she's like your next door neighbor, if she's like at the gym, she's one of the other parents at your school. You're like, this chick laughs at everything. She's great. She probably slings a little pee once in a while. It's all good in the hood, dog. But you do not want her to fucking be running for president.
or
Could you imagine,
prosecuting
though?
you. Yeah.
What's
Prosecuting Johnny was right.
Or
Prosecuting
prosecuting
it would be terrible. Oof.
I mean, like, dude, you just listen to people. I go, she argued in court to stop early release out of prison for labor reasons. Like, how is she the liberal? How is she the progressive? How is she the liberal? It's crazy to me. That's my whole thing when I'm
The
going on
dance
stage.
from Black Lives Matter to that it's some of the most incredible gymnastics I've ever seen. The
It's
people were
so-
taking Black Lives Matter signs off their lawn and then putting Harris Waltz signs on within a year. Within a year they're doing